Guys, bear with me for a few minutes, because today is the 21st of Jan 2021 and we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back in time to 1993. So that's 27 years ago. And the reason we're going back in time is that I had in my archive a DVD of a trip to the Orient, our first trip to the Orient, which came to the forefront probably 1 or 2 years before that, with before that casein being the main focus and shantyco for a lot of anglers. I'm doing this because of COVID and lockdown and everything else. I've got hundreds of hours of tapes of footage that I started to take when I first got my video back in 93. And it's been fantastic. I ain't had time to edit all of that. This was actually edited and was on a DVD. So what you're going to see following this introduction is a film made, the first 15 minutes of it is on Harrow, where I was fishing a lot at the time, having joined that 10 years earlier, and then it moves into our trip to the Orient. I was going to re-edit it in order to make it look more professional, but I don't know that I want to do that with these old DVDs and videos. I think part of the appeal, and for me the nostalgia and attraction, is leaving them largely unedited, because you know, the sound, me droning on, talking and what have you, just captures that era for me, and that's what these are all about. You know, I'd done these videos. I got the video with a view to documenting my son growing up. He was yet to be born in 93, but you know, it all evolved from there. And as I say, they're not the best of quality films, and you know what we're all used to now with YouTube and the professionalism of others. But as I say, you're going to see during the course of this year, when I get time, every now and then, some footage that goes back to great times fishing with guys on various lakes, mainly Harrow, I would say, North Harrow Waltonians as it was known. And yeah, I've really enjoyed myself, not least of all subsequent tarpon trips, Ebro trips, and just general fishing, and you know, life and how it was for us anglers. It's not that old, the footage, don't get me wrong. You know, when I'm looking at it, it's not like we're going back to the 70s, 60s, 50s. Having uploaded Roy Johnson's video that he did back in 76, that he put on DVD. You know, that's old footage. But for me, you know, it's old enough, and I think there's some great nostalgia in there. So this, as I say, rather than type all of this in the way of an introduction, I thought I'd make this introduction, you know, now, and then it will give you some idea of the format of the film. So as I say, first 15 minutes or so, an evening trip on Harrow, and then the Orient trip with mates, you know, all back in 93. Some elements of which seem like they was last week, and other elements of which seem, you know, quite a long while back. I'm 58, and I started carp fishing seriously 79, having been a match angler, more of a match angler before that. And you know, I'm just glad that I managed to yeah, get the video out, as much as I was a pain in the arse with people, and you know, some people not wanting to be on camera back in those days. I'm glad that I did capture them, not least of all some people, bless them, who aren't with us anymore. That's not the case on this video, but you'll see subsequent videos, especially the Harrow anglers. You know, you'll see guys, boys that yeah, we have fond memories of, that aren't with us. So anyway, enjoy. Not quite sure how it's all going to turn out, just bear with me, but there's hundreds of hours to eventually see the light of day with you guys, thanks to YouTube. Well, we're on Harrow today, and I arrived a couple of hours ago. It's now 5:15 in the evening. There's a light northerly wind blowing down to the bottom bank. I'm fishing off the point here with tigers just about 4 or 5 odd lengths out.
You can see there's a nice ripple on the water going down towards the bottom bank, which might be a good bet, come to think of it. You can see here that I've got some tiger nuts that I'm using natural. I'm not flavouring them or anything, but I had a fish the weekend of £21 using the Tiggers, and I somehow feel a lot more confident on them than boilies right now. There's too many boilies going in the lake, and I'm just keeping an eye on this wind because it's blowing into this bay just to my right, so I'm going to contemplate putting a rod further to the right in a moment, in case there's any fish there, and try and spread the baits out a bit. Bob, you've just come up to me with some weed. What's this? Have a look at this.
I just brought this in, and just have a look at the amount of shrimps and that in there, all the natural food. Can you see? It's just teeming with it. They don't need our baits much, do they?
Yeah.
Look, it's swarming with them. Look at them all, millions of them.
Amazing. What sort of approach have you adopted? You're using boilies, yeah?
Yeah, I'm using fish meal boilies,
Yeah.
and just trying to find a little hole in the weed, really, and put 30-40 baits around each hook bait, and hope for the best, really.
Is that what you did yesterday when you had your 20?
And actually, I didn't have a lot of bait with me. I was fishing just a single hook bait there, really.
Right.
But I knew I was on the fish.
Yeah, that was up the shallows, yeah?
I was in the shallows. There was 3 or 4 fish moving up there.
Yeah.
And one rolled out, you know, just before I had the take, about half hour before, and I think it was the same fish. So it's very pleasing.
Yeah, good for you. The conditions ain't bad this evening, are they?
They're very good, very good.
I mentioned earlier about the wind coming into the right hand side in this bay here. I've just cast out to an area over there, sort of in that neck of the woods. I've caught fish from that spot before, albeit when there was a lot more weed in there, but it's a good spot, and I've just cast there hoping for the best. We're using bottle tops just behind the buzzer. There's one there, and one there. And the idea being that it shows the slightest lift. They're unweighted bottle tops, and sometimes you can have very, very finicky takes here, and they're very educated fish. So fish has only got to pick it up and move that indicator a few inches, and I'll strike it. There's an old favourite spot of ours, the old poplar trees. It's where Lee had his 40 the first day we ever fished here. Just into that spot over there. Spot we called the stick because there was a stick on a bar about 40 yards out. Oh, fond memories. That was 10 years ago, 83 that was.
Are you sure it's going? It's just got, oh, the counter is going, yeah, it's on record, yeah. No, all I've got is just like his head and the reel and his arm and shoulder. I'll pan up to the rod top now.
You know, I start panicking when I get one. So bleeding rare these days. Something and off. You're getting a bit closer with that, Bob.
It's on record. It's like the whole frame is taken up by like the front half of the fish.
Right.
It's like all head and that. Yeah, that's much better.
Can you get closer with it, Bob?
How much closer do you want to get?
Alright, let's put it back now.
Okay, that's lovely.
Cheers, Rich.
This will be the best bit of the film. All the rest is a mess.
Alright.
That's good. Can you lift the fish out of the water and then like show him to me and then put him back? That's it, turn him up. That's it. Turn his head a bit to me if you can.
Yeah.
Alright, that's lovely.
How's that look? Can you get...
That's terrific.
Yeah?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, lovely fish, eh?
Beautiful fish, Kevin, well done. Nice
Said we
result.
felt confident, didn't I?
Yeah,
Eh?
fantastic.
So he went and all, didn't he?
He did, really went well. Those commons always do, don't they?
Yeah.
20 to 7. I had the fish about 6:15. I felt confident all along, and I had it from just out of here, sort of that vicinity, only about 15 yards from the bank. So I'm more than pleased now. It's a nice common, 17.10 I think it was, and in a panic, which I normally have, I thought it was a much bigger fish, but who's complaining? Absolutely pristine condition fish. And the second fish for me this season, the thought of tiger nuts, popped up. Only a few tigers, 4 or 5 pouchfuls, but it's a method that's working if you can get on the fish. There they are, the little devils that do all the damage. Tiger nuts. God knows why they work, but they certainly do.
That's 2 upper doubles you've had in less than an hour then. Yeah. That's good fishing on this water, isn't it?
Yeah, 8, 16, 17.5.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nearly the same size as the other one.
Yeah.
That was a common.
You really press the red button?
Yeah, I pressed it. I'm on record.
Yeah, so there we are.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
2 fish in less than an hour.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Lovely fish. Well pleased.
Well done.
See if we can get a shot of him putting him back.
Yeah. This one's going to be a lot better than the last one. You might have a bit of decent film with this one. Lovely. Can you turn him more towards me?
Yeah.
That's it, lovely fish.
Yeah, lovely fish, eh?
Beautiful fish.
See him swimming away, Bob. See him coming a bit closer and getting swimming away.
Hang on then, just 1 second, wait a minute. Hold it. I'll zoom in right. Okay, I've got him.
Yeah?
Yeah, go for it. Fantastic.
Yeah. Just like I say, that it's not often I have a day like this, and when you do, it's nice to make the most of it.
Definitely.
And, oh yeah, I'm well pleased. 2 very nice fish, and from a bloody hard water.
It is.
So,
well done, Kev.
Yeah, I'm well pleased.
Not many fish. Not many people get 2 fish like that in one day.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a pleasant change for me to do it. I'll tell you, they'll probably call them the mugfish now I've caught them. Yeah? Alright.
Yeah, well done, Kev.
Cheers. Called him.
Yeah.
I'm just putting out another 4 or 5 pouchfuls of tigers
Right.
over the area.
Yep.
And just about a reef half. So you'll see from these that they don't go out very far. See if you can catch that. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is the I don't know if you can see too well here, Bob, but this is the rig I'm using.
Right.
Just a
Oh, I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a straightforward
popped up tiger,
popped up
cork
tigers.
ball, size
With a cork ball?
4 hook,
Yeah.
15 pound seal cast hook length.
That's quite unusual for this day and age. You're not using any of the Christon or anything
No,
then?
no, I've never really bothered.
Oh, well, it doesn't
Probably
seem to
why I
make a
don't
lot of
catch a
difference.
great deal normally, but and I'll tell you what, I can even use the same tiger. Talk about bait economy.
That's
I can
right.
use the same tiger. It's still buoyant. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. The hook's still sharp.
They're brilliant hooks as well, those, Kevin.
Yeah, they are good hooks. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's
Fortunately-
hoping it catches you another fish. Make it a hat trick.
Yeah. Plenty of time yet. It's only 20 past 7.
That's right.
Yeah, so mustn't be greedy, but you've got to make hay while the sun shines.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, it's now sort of 20 to 8, and I've had a couple of lovely fish. What was it? 17, 2 17s, 17 common, 17 mirror, and you can see that it's still looking quite good out there. Conditions are good now. It's getting on in the evening, coming to a good time. The sky is sort of slightly clouded over, and without wishing to be too optimistic, there's no reason why, feeling as confident as I do, I'll make hay while the sun shines. I'm going to cast out one to the right in a minute, in that area there. There was some bubbling there earlier. We'll see if we can see it just before that ripple there. Come on, indicators, do your job. Been using them bottle tops, they're really sensitive, and whilst the 2 takes have been real screamers, the take I had the weekend was just a lift of about 6 inches down and up again. I thought it was a tench, but that turned out to be a 21-pound mirror. So they show a drop back and they show the slightest lift. The only problem is there's a lot of weed out there starting to drift. See the weed there starting to drift into the line.
Right, I'm recording.
Well, I've just seen a fish moving in the bay over there. Can't water, so the wind in a little while and throw one out over there, because I'm pretty sure this wind is
Yeah.
here, and although I've had both fish on the left hand rod, this right hand rod's not done anything, so I may as well throw it round the corner. So give it another 10 minutes or so, and we'll steam it round there.
Yeah, there's been quite a few fish showing over there as well.
Yeah.
A couple of tench just
Yeah.
recently, and like you say, a carp just now.
Yeah,
So
it's funny how those tench are such big tench, you can easily mistake them for carp.
that's
Unless
right.
you see it, if you just saw the boil, you wouldn't know it was a tench.
No,
that's
they're
for
good
sure.
tench in here. Average
Oh, yeah.
sort of £5–6
Yeah,
plus.
yeah, no, that's right, yeah. So, and they like tigers in here as well.
Do they really?
Yeah, I've had a few on tigers last
Have
year
you?
and that. So, you know, they certainly get on them. But, yeah, I'll whack one round there in a minute.
Yeah.
See.
Just zoom into the bay. Looks like there's a coop there waiting for you, Kevin.
Yeah, that's where I had the tigers earlier. I'm a bit closer. That's where I caught them last year, Bob.
Is it?
Bay.
What, the 30?
Yeah,
You had a 30 out there,
yeah. And he was choke full of weed.
was it?
Yeah, absolutely. Just fishing in the holes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a couple of good days in here. Yeah, I had a personal best there, 34.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it's been a pretty good swim this to me.
It has.
Yeah.
Lucky old swim.
You can see they've built it up on my account. It's like the M25 now.
Yeah.
Is that right? According to a reliable source, Alan Partridge reckons each swim now carries an NHBC 10-year guarantee. Yeah?
Well, a lot of work went into doing
Oh
it.
yeah, no, he's done a good job. He's done a good job. The lake's looking lovely.
Fantastic.
Sure. But you can see here, look, I don't know if you can see on the vid, look, all this, you were sort of fishing down at that level.
Really?
Yeah, before. So, like, especially in the winter, I spent a lot of time in this swim. Yeah, Bob, sit here. I see in the calm water. I see in the calm water. You see the fish has just
Yeah.
rippled down. Yeah?
Yeah.
In that calm water over there. You see, look. Yeah.
Well, it's approaching 8:30. The sun is setting. I've had a good day. There's still time to come.
What can I say? I've had a couple of 17s. I'm really pleased. Not the biggest fish in the world, but certainly nice fish to catch from here. See the sun is setting over there in the horizon. The lake takes on that sort of sunset sort of calm, and this is what fishing's all about. Makes up for all them trips when you're blank in the winter, the expense, the aggravation, the wife getting upset because you're not home, taking her out, and when you do you're tired. Yeah, I have all that. But now we've arrived at Laxane about 3 o'clock today, and I've set up by 7:30 this evening on a lake that's about 5,000 acres. You're lucky if there's about 20 swims when the water's up so high, and we have spent about 4 hours just driving around looking for somewhere to fish. The water is just so high, it's really restrictive. We've set up in this swim where the wind's been blowing into for the last couple of days, and we're the only one on this side of the lake. You can see out in front of us is just a vast expanse of water, and out there in the distance is Peter, who's using the echo sounder just to go around the 2 swims that we're in and check what sort of depths and the nature of the bottom that we've got before we start baiting up. It's been a real perseverance test getting here today, and boy am I glad that it's 10 to 9 Sunday morning, and we arrived at Orient yesterday. We set out 6 o'clock from home yesterday morning, Saturday. Got here about 2:45 in the afternoon. This lake's massive. I don't know, twice the size of KC, maybe more. And it's really daunting where to fish because the water's so high. You just can't get any swims. I wouldn't think there's more than 10 swims on this lake right now because the water's just up in the trees and everything. But we've been quite lucky because we found a spot just to our side here, and the wind's pushing into it. It's a new wind. There's some Dutch and some English opposite over the other side. They've stopped catching. They had a few earlier on in the week, and we thought this might be a good bet. Apart from that, it was the only place we could get in. So Peter and I set up last night pretty late, about 8 o'clock, got our baits out, and we're absolutely knackered. But fortunately, about 1 o'clock this morning I had a screaming take, and landed what I think is a mirror about 28 pound. It's the first one of the trip, and feels like a bit of the pressure's off, but at least we've had one on our first night.
32.53. Yeah, go on.
This is the fish. It's about 24 pound. Get something to wipe him down, Pete, some water. About as lively as you want to get. It's been in the sack. Oh, at least it's the first fish though. Well, I've just put the fish back, and this is the swim that we're fishing. You can see my rods are on the right, Peter's on the left. I'm casting out towards that area. Probably the closest rod's about 100 yards and the other two are just past that. We're looking out the wind pushing into our bank and into our bay on the right hand side. And as I pan across to the left, you can see that this is the area out here. That sort of area that Peter's fishing. But the conditions are looking really good. The wind's coming our way, and we've had the one fish. It's early days, and I'm hoping that with some more bait that we can put out there during the course of the day, we should get some more fish. And as you can see, we've got buddy dogs and windsurfers. And Peter out in the swim, retrieving his tackle from the weed, which is a real problem for the first 50 yards or so out from the swim. But I don't know, let's hope it's all worthwhile. So far we've had a nice fish. This is the bait we're using. There's some grapes there, some Scopex flavour from Martin, SBS. Some evaporated milk that we put in with the grapes, and then lots of peanuts, and all them go out in the boat somewhere out just beyond where those two windsurfers, canoeists, or calling what you are. See if I come into the water here, you can see the sort of weed. Well, that's a lot thicker out there. There's Peter. Unbelievable. Is it? How far out does it stretch for, Pete?
I don't know, I think that's far enough to get the ones.
Yeah, but what is it, at least 50 yards? Yeah? Oh, camera's shaking because I've had a beetle fly on me. Yeah. You can see beyond Peter, behind there is all that weed, and that stretches out a lot further, which is no wonder why you've got to get in the boat. A lot of people say, oh, it's not fair playing fish from a boat, you should land them from the bank. Well, they should come here and try that. It's impossible. I'd much rather get the fish in and save it having lots of line dragging around and try for the ego of playing it from the bank, that's for sure. These are the rigs you can see on Peter's rods there. Size 2 or 4 hook, 15 pounds straight through, anti-tangle tube, big lead. Let's just get a bit closer on that. Look at some focus here. I'll show you the rigs later on. See these echo sounders, I'm not too sure about these. Peter's more keen about it than I am. There's a suction pad that goes on the boat at the bottom, just under the water. And ideally they're to find you the fish, although realistically we've only been using it for the nature of the bottom. We've got about 17 to 25 feet out in front of us. They are handy things, but we just can't seem to get the neck of this one. There they come, the pedlos. Well, here they come. They can't understand us, we can't understand them. They're waving at us thinking, God, they're enjoying my videoing us. They're a pain in the arse. You can see here that Peter's taking his baits out now, pulling them off the clutch. Because we're certainly fishing beyond casting distance. Simply because that weed is, as I say, 50 yards or so out. So you just roll them out and drop them.
Well boys, you boys at home, we're not thinking about you. I wonder what you're doing now, Jim, throwing a wobbler? Or an arrow, catching them? Probably not. Nigel was due out here tomorrow with Did Dob Rob. Don't know where they're going to fish, left to squeeze in here somewhere to our left. Hold on, it's all gone wobbly over there. Pete's looking in that fish finder. I don't know what I think he's looking for treasure. Jim, I think he's looking for treasure because there ain't no fish there. I think we'll have to go to evening classes before we come out again. Get to learn how to use that bleeding thing. Oh well, it's all gone very pear-shaped now. We've had every kind of boat in our swim, and sunbathers and canoeists and everything. So I've lost my 3 lines, which are there, and people just swimming out there, and the pedalo things. So I've wound in. It's sort of about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's no point fishing for the rest of the day while these are all here. I may as well wait till they've gone home and then cast out for the evening and the night. But part of the fun of fishing in France, I guess. And while they've got a point, they want to swim and everything else, they don't understand the style of fishing we do. They think we're all fishing 5 yards out with lures. And it's not until we started reeling in they realise that we were fishing so far out. And of course it's dangerous for them because they can get caught up in the line. Which we wouldn't want to happen, would we, Jim? So Peter's just out there now checking around the area with the echo sounder for something to do. I'm going to crash out now for a few hours. Here comes Peter with the food for the evening. He's knackered. He's not used to working this hard. You alright? You don't look happy.
I suppose that's the one you want, your beef curry.
Yep.
Salt dogs there, got mine. Tomorrow for lunch.
Peter, just sum up the trip so far, seriously.
Slow. You never know. Few fish tonight.
I thought we heard one earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. This is how all these French people go home shortly.
Yeah, it's been a pain,
It's
isn't it?
Monday tomorrow.
Anyone coming to the Orient, or a lot of lakes for that matter, definitely ought to try and avoid weekends in the summer.
Bloody murder.
The wind's dying down now. Still blowing towards us, which we're pleased about.
Whether it makes any difference or not, we don't know.
Yes, interesting point. Does it make a lot of difference? We've had a lot of trouble with this outboard motor, that's packed up. It would have been a godsend had it worked. So we're having to row out and wait till it's calm. It seems as though we thought of every eventuality coming here. Anything that could go wrong, we thought we'd covered it. We didn't cover the outboard packing up. It's about 7:30 in the evening. We're going to give it an hour or so, wait until it's dropped right off, and then take all the baits out, have something to eat now.
Well, it's 5 for out, here. Run out.
Pete, you doing the honours? Are you waiting on me this evening or not? Oh, that says it all. That's very aggressive attitude, Rat. It's 9 o'clock in the evening, Sunday night. We've just put our baits out, and the sun is setting over there, and it looks really good. The wind's blowing towards us. We've found some fish on the echo sounder, but to be honest, I'm not sure how big they are or anything. Just hoping that we can get away with fishing the night, because we certainly haven't fished during the day. The rods have been more out of the water than in it. How are you feeling, Pete? Confident?
Yeah, as long as the divers don't come back.
Oh, it's something funny happened yesterday. It was about 11 o'clock at night, pitch black, and there was a light going under the water, moving along. We thought we were seeing ghosts. It turned out to be a diver that caught up 3 of Peter's lines. It was funny. At the time it was frustrating, but to see this light going under the water and then pick up his lines,
Guy didn't know what was happening. So you can see, it's looking really good. So, hopefully. Do you know, the only thing you ain't brought with you is your armchair, you know?
The armchair? Oh,
Yeah.
brown thing.
Yeah, I bet you're missing that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you missing Jim?
No, you're silly.
So glad he ain't here, aren't you?
You said it, I didn't.
Yeah. Right, so we're switching off. See you Monday morning.
Joe
Hopefully.
Taylor,
Here's a bit of news. We're sitting there Monday morning.
Yep.
9:45. I turned off the video last night, said it looked good, felt confident. It went all very, very spherical out there.
hectic.
Absolutely hectic. And it's about, what time you have your take? 9:30, 9:45. And, well, you say what happened.
Took my bait out by boat to 25 foot of water, about 200 yards out. Is it 200 yards?
Yeah, must be.
Hadn't been out there 3/4 of an hour. Away it went. Jumped in a boat. Had the fish on for 50 minutes.
This fish went radio.
Just couldn't get it in. Couldn't get it off the bottom. It's in a sack now. We haven't weighed it, but it looks rather large.
Yeah. And then that was only the start. Because then you had another take not long after that, didn't you?
No, it was you next one.
Oh, it was me next. And I lost that because of the weed. And then this wind got up. Well, it's died down a bit now, but the wind got up about 10:30, 11 last night. I'll tell you needed a cross-channel ferry to get out there. And all we got is a rubber dinghy with a motor not working, so just had to try and get it back, but it was impossible. We got stuck in the weed and the line broke, so I was a bit cheesed off about that. And you had a take, didn't you? And lost that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I lost it, just let it snag me up.
Yeah.
Don't get it in the morning, but it weren't there.
And then I had another 2 takes. All 3 rods on my rods all went, and one of them weeded up, so we thought we'd leave it to the morning. And then the one this morning we managed to get out for, and we got that in the sack, and it was probably mid-20, same as the other one. But there's no doubt about it, if we could have got our baits out last night and we had a proper boat and that, we'd have caught a lot of fish, because there was a lot of fish out there, just as we thought there might be. And they was eating everything. Every single bait out there was eaten like by carp last night. And it was just a disappointment that the wind got up so bad. Couldn't get out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we didn't see any fish jump at all.
Didn't hear, heard a couple, didn't we?
Heard a couple when we were out in the boat playing my fish.
Yeah.
But
I'm scratching because I've been eaten alive by bleeding gnats, like pterodactyls out. I ain't had a shower for 3 days.
And
or
we
a
both
wash.
stink.
By heaven.
I'm going to jump in the lake
But
in a minute.
it's really good here, isn't it?
Yep, no
Yeah,
trouble
there's
from
a
the
lot
police.
of fish here, no trouble from the police, touch wood. And I think we could be in for some more, hopefully, don't you?
If we can get our baits out.
Yeah. We're not missing anyone back home, really. I'm missing my wife. Yeah, I missed her a lot. I'm going to go and phone her in a minute, tell her that we're all right.
I don't think I've missed Gatesy somehow.
No, Pete ain't missed Gatesy. Gatesy's missed you, though.
Don't swear.
Oh, you ain't videoing it, are you?
I'll tell you, Peter's fighting that carp and that carp's winning.
Kevin, this is unreal. I've ripped this sack, I've done be careful.
Just worry about the fish. It's a lively one, Peter.
Yeah, could be. I'll have one there in a minute. Not here anyway.
Right, there's the fish. It's actually not as big as we thought. It's 26 pound.
Oh, it's going to jump in here.
But a lovely fish. A real lovely fish.
Yep.
Well, that fish 20.5 pound, and I had it this morning. It's a lovely fish, well pleased.
as you can see. Right, press the red button, Pete. Things are starting to look up now. It's midday on the Monday, and we've managed to borrow an outboard, thankfully, off Joe Taylor, who's fishing about a quarter of a mile to our right with Bob Frost and a Dutch friend of theirs. And we've borrowed that, and I tell you, they are invaluable. They are an absolute must, because we'd never have been able to row out there today, and we would have had to wait till the evening until everything had calmed down. So they've really saved the day for us. You can see it don't look maybe very choppy on the video, but believe me, that's too choppy for a little dinghy to row out to the baited area. That's the nectar. Combination of groats, condensed milk, peanuts and shelf life boilies all mixed in together.
And flavour?
Flavour, condensed milk from Martin, the Scopex thing. So that's the stuff that's doing the damage, and hopefully it'll continue to do the damage for the rest of the holiday. It's early days yet, but we're feeling a lot better now that we've got this outboard motor. This is the rear end of the boat, and you can see there that we've got the battery linked to the outboard, and here we've got a fish finder that you might be able to see closer, a hummingbird. And what that does is not so much rely on to find fish, but more a case of finding the depths and the weed, and the fish certainly seem to be moving out during the day. You know, we're fishing at sort of 70-80 yards in the evening, and then during the day our intention is to put the baits at least 120 yards out there. The fish definitely move out during the day. There's Rob and Nigel just got here. Rob's coming out in front of Peter, look. There's Peter's rods there, he's coming over to the right. They're fishing in amongst these reeds here. There's Nigel. Rob's been shouting at him because he's all tangled in the boat. Oh, I tell you, it's crazy. It's absolutely bloody mad. I've got to laugh because you'll cry. I'm going to turn the video off now because I want to shout at Rob because he's coming far too over. Now Nigel's telling me to give him a hand, he's cocking the hump.
No, none of that sort of comment.
Look at him, look, he fucking thinks, he thinks his sales manager's in now. Look at him in the undergrowth there. Oh Rob, he's got in the one and he's still out there, look. Tangled. Oh dear, it's all gone very Hey, can you hear them over there?
Where?
What do you reckon of them two then, eh? Eh, it's murder, isn't it? All shouting and hollering, bring attention to ourselves. Well, it's about 8:30 now in the evening, and we're going to get ready to be putting the baits out. We've hardly had a bait out all day, and it's certainly happening at night. The Belgium angler's just come along, he's setting up to our right, very successful Belgian angler. Come here with a bit of a sting in his tail about one thing and another, as if the lake belongs to him, but he's alright now, he's chilled out. So there you go. So the conditions are looking good, the wind's still blowing towards us, and it's been a very, very hot day, certainly in the 80 degrees. So we've just spent it sunbathing, drinking and making merry. There's been no point in fishing, there's been windsurfers here to our right and they've been in the swim, so we've just wound in to save any aggravation. All they need to do is call the police, and we're stuffed for the rest of the holiday, so we just err on the cautious side and wind in. Can you just say a couple of words for the camera?
Piss off.
Look into the camera a minute.
No, not this time, no one cares.
No? It's not a good time, you don't look your best.
I'm going to make that one.
And the sun is just coming up. It was fairly quiet last night. I had just the one take, and it's turned out to be the biggest fish of the trip so far. It's in the sack, and it's over £30. There's a few more anglers here now, fishing mainly to our right. We're all sort of fishing together with Nigel and Rob on our left. And as I say, just remind you that there's a real lack of swims when the water's up so high. I'm shaking because I'm so cold. I thought I'd get an early morning shot. Let's go and see. Let's go and see the boys. There's their trailer. There's the lake, and they're somewhere in the middle of these reeds. Can you spot them? There they are. Rob?
Yeah. What?
Oh look, he's on.
Are you
Look at the
sure?
state of these, look, look.
Oh. Like a cosy little home.
It's nice here, isn't it?
Yeah. Frogs have just gone asleep.
God, it's cold, I'm shaking. Well, what do you think of the show so far, boys?
Good. It's good, yeah.
Excellent, good.
When you're going to edit over this bit? 'Cause, Kev, I'll tell you what,
Go on, Nigel,
I'm
what?
going to slap you because
What have I done now?
I've been laying here hours to get asleep. Now the frogs have stopped croaking.
So they get a take, they've got to walk out or run out through these reeds.
Oh, don't.
The rods are out there somewhere. They're near the dinghy.
When are we going to have a look at your fishing?
And they're fishing out there.
In the water.
In the water, isn't it?
Here we have Kev. 4 o'clock last night.
I mean, he can't probably figure out what it is anyway. He's just figuring he's probably got caught in a load of long.
Can't lift it really. Can you have a go at this, Joe? Just lift it for us.
Let's get you out there, Jim, Kev.
Not the best scales in the world. No, we work with the Nashi ones.
Almost 40 pounds.
Yeah, 39 and a half. Let's wait with these. Probably go 41 and a half on them lifted.
Nice one, Kev.
Mine self-P.
Sorry. Yeah, 39 and a half. How much
Well over 40 on that one.
Yeah. 39 and a half pound.
Excellent stuff, mate. Well done.
Yeah, Joe, can you move out the way a bit?
Having a little look at that.
Right. Wet it down, Pete.
Yeah.
So you can get a bit lower, Nigel. Lower down with your knees.
Make sure focus is right.
Alright, tell me when.
Alright, yeah.
Long fish, that one.
Yeah.
Go on, Nigel. Quick.
The SBS ain't showing, Kevin, if you want the SBS showing, you want to lower the fish a bit. That's it.
Can you get those sacks out of the way?
No, go on, don't worry about them.
You're in the fucking shot, Nigel.
Bet some commentary, eh, Kev?
Yeah, well, how does that look?
No, it's terrible.
Fish looks nice, eh?
How's that?
Yeah.
Have one with it, Lo, looks good.
Get one head on, Nigel. Get right close so you can get him head on.
I'll stick my arse in the water in a minute.
Well, I'll lift him out, get one of me and his head. Yeah?
Alright, hold on, just stay still for a second so I can focus in. Alright,
Yeah, ready? On 3.
go on then, lift it up.
Hold on. One. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, nice one.
Yeah. You zoomed in on that, Rob?
Yeah, we got him, mate.
Rob, you've been here since yesterday afternoon. What's your impressions of the lake so far?
It's a lovely lake.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this spool you've just broken.
Something weren't on a fish. Well, lucky it weren't on a fish. Yeah.
Was it just winding in?
Yeah.
This one goes out especially to Tiddy and Ken.
Yeah.
Oh
Naked.
dear.
Bit of rut.
Oh god, we won't go down that far. This is a family show.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nigel's put his cheeks back in his pants.
Well, Nigel?
Oh, my mum might see this, I bet.
Yeah, what's the impression then of the lake?
Impression?
Yeah,
It's big.
isn't it?
Yeah. But there is big fish in here.
And it's hot weather. This ain't good weather for fishing during the day, is it?
No. Tonight.
Hey. Well, what's the day? Is it Tuesday morning now, isn't it? It's Tuesday morning. We've just put back 39.5.
Who caught that?
What? And there's a really good fish. Had that about 4:30 this morning. Down the beach with the camcorder, didn't you, Rob?
Yeah. You got bait.
So what's our plan of attack for today?
Plan of attack?
Well, we've got another 78, 80 degrees, isn't it?
Yep. Up high 70s. We've moved our marker about another 30 yards, so we're about, I'd say, 200 yards, 220 yards out there, Kev.
So you're out that area,
Yeah, we're going to fish on that this afternoon.
round there.
Yeah, then we're going to bait up heavily tonight.
Yeah.
We're using the horseshoe baiting technique.
Oh, hold on, the horseshoe baiting technique. I'm coming back now. That's one we ain't heard of. Go on then, what's that then?
Well, the idea is you taper in from your marker
Right,
and sort of pick up a trail. Are you with me, Kev?
yeah, go on.
So the idea is that any fish coming within sort of 50-yard radius will automatically pick up the trail.
Yeah.
It led to the pot of gold.
And that's the horseshoe technique.
Yeah.
Good one, very good.
Advised by Rob and I about
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Yep, good. You were ad-libbing there, weren't you, Nigel?
I was.
Yeah, what about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm on the horseshoe technique as well.
Yeah?
On the
Alright.
same horseshoe technique.
Yeah, we're out there. Just as we were talking earlier, Luke from Belgium is in. I'll pan in towards him. You might just see him out in the distance there. He's been playing the fish, he's fishing on his own to our right. He moved in yesterday evening and that's encouraging to see a fish coming out during the day. So makes us a little bit more hopeful. It's now Tuesday afternoon and it's about 3:30 and we're talking seriously hot. It's well in the 80s and it's too hot to sunbathe even for us. You can see the lake's like a mill pool, clear blue skies, and it's just not good fishing weather, I'm afraid. What we need is some wind, some rain, because at the moment it's a struggle. Now what's that? Now that's something I'm going to eat now. I've just spotted that.
Joking, what, that blonde thing?
Yeah. Apparently he never told me. Really told me.
Yeah? I don't like all that.
Well, it's Tuesday
On, Kev?
and it's flat calm.
and we've decided to wind in the rods. There's been some police milling about, and an unscrupulous looking character. What's your view, Nige?
Yeah, my view is I agree with you, Kev.
Yeah.
As always. Yeah.
Pete?
Yeah, I think better not take a chance.
Rob?
Yeah, reeling.
Yeah.
Really in about 10:30.
Yeah.
Get them out early morning if we haven't been visited.
Yeah. You know, you're not a very interesting bloke, Pete.
Yeah, I'll start swearing in a minute.
Thanks for that comment. No, this is a family show. Please keep it clean. So we're winding in to be on the safe side and have a good night's kip. Well, it's now Wednesday morning and about 7:30. We haven't managed to recast. It's peeing down with rain now. The guards didn't come round last night, although we had them wound in. Conditions are looking a lot better now. The wind's blowing from our left to our right, which is a sort of a south-westerly. And as soon as this rain lets up, we're going to get the baits out. But talk about contrast, yesterday by this time we were sunbathing. Now it's just falling down. There was a little storm last night and the rain's just kept going since then. Nige,
Yes, mate.
what happened to you last night?
Well, in the line of duty, about 4:30, I made a very brave attempt to get some baits into the water, Kev. And you've seen the results. Not the sort of thing I can reveal again on
Can
camera.
we have just a quick look? Because they are rather nice legs.
What they used to be.
I don't think... Do you think you're going to pick it up, Kev? I think it needs your smooth hand again.
Mm.
Look at that. I don't think you're going to...
I don't think we can really see them, are we?
No. But at a fair count, if I'd had as many fish as I'd have had bites, I'd have been quite famous by now, wouldn't I?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
It's all going wobbly.
We wobbled.
What about you, Rob?
I only had 3 bites. I legged it. I wasn't brave enough. They just ran off, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was your tenacity to try and put bait out,
I
wasn't
was
it?
there, mate.
Yeah,
Charging through the undergrowth.
I lasted about a minute.
I'll tell you what, just looking through this viewfinder, you make a lovely couple. Yeah? Is there any, you know, is there...
Any future?
We've been worried about you, Nige, as you know. Is there any sort of... Come on, you can reveal it now. No, there's nothing... Oh, was that a rat speaking? Let's go over to the other side. God. Go on then. What have you got to say on the affair?
I've got a comment here.
Go on, Nige, what's your comment?
Well, it's only the second night so far, so yeah, we're really just getting to know each other at the moment. I'm not the sort of bloke that does that sort of thing on the first night.
You're not a tart.
No.
I'm just looking at Peter's bags under his eyes.
How big are they?
How big do you want them? Well, we've got to make the effort to get the baits out now because it doesn't look like the rain's going to stop. And we're finding we're fishing not enough hours now. Our baits seem to have been more out of the water than in it, so we definitely ain't going to be catching anything. So we're going to put up with the wind and the rain and just get the baits out. But well, it's unbelievable contrast from yesterday.
It's 24. Some same to agree for the water if you would.
Joe's just said the small old kipper. Wait till you see it. 64. 64.5 £. Bloody hell. Smile on Joe's face says it all. What time do you have it, Joe?
11 o'clock this morning. 11 o'clock English hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him down, Bob. No, it's not possible. Yeah,
Nice,
okay,
huh? Look at that. That says it all. Makes all the effort worthwhile, Joe,
And
eh?
it just, eh? Oh, like winning the pools.
What, you work like that a lot?
Let's see you till him up a bit, Joe.
Up a bit, it'll be alright.
Lovely. Tell you what, if you two were having a fight, I think that cart would win, Joe.
Yeah.
So it's not a martyr.
Well, he's not like he was a master, he'd be on the stringer. Moving a bit. Okay, look, try again. Move in.
Lovely, lovely, super. Super.
Give him a rest a minute.
Joe, any chance of looking intelligent?
I'm not an intelligent person. That's it, that's your lot.
Yeah. One last shot, lovely.
That's it.
Right then, boys, we'll slip her back.
Joe, care to say anything for the camera?
Yeah, that was brilliant, mate.
Yeah?
That made my day. Just switch it off at the front, Bob.
There's Peter,
Thank you.
Bertis,
At the front, you'll see it says on and off.
Bob.
Look at the bottom.
and our mate Rob to share the experience.
I don't know when it's at the back.
I think it will be by now. Just there, look. Just slide it across. That's your lot.
Can't you tell when it's...
Well, no, it keeps going.
How does it?
It's at the end of the film when it gets there, you see, Bob.
Oh, right.
Don't wind back, it just carries on winding
Oh,
on.
it just winds it on. Oh, right. Okay then.
Well, boys, wasn't that good?
That was very good.
Very good.
Wednesday afternoon now, and we've just seen Joe put back his 64. Spurred us all on, hasn't it, boys?
Oh yeah.
Hey?
Big old boy.
And it's now a lot calmer. It's getting a bit more humid, not good weather. Just about to have something to eat. What we got there, Rob?
Dogs.
Hot dogs. This is how we live out here. We know how to enjoy ourselves. All we're missing is the girls. What makes you such a big hit with the girls, Nige?
You'll have to ask my agent.
Care to comment, Rob?
Not really.
Cool, we're half an interesting bunch, aren't we?
We've got bloke in a yellow van coming down. Looks a bit
Official.
official.
Yeah.
Well, we're feeling confident. I know I keep saying it, but we've got to spur ourselves on now. It's not good fishing weather, but we're enjoying ourselves. And,
Better than yesterday, don't it?
unfortunately, so far between us, we had a couple, what, 320s and the 39.
Who had that?
How many takes you had?
What we had now? We had 5 takes. Pete's had how many, Pete?
2.
2.
Green.
The guy that can walk on water, no names mentioned, further up, certain Belgian angler, he's had 1, sort of low 30. And then of course Joe, and they also had another take, Joe, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they lost that. So it's a real problem getting the fish in here, but we're managing. All we need now is a few more takes. So
Signing off now, aren't you, Kev?
yeah, so it's 2:10 now. We're gonna have a kip and make merry. Gonna phone the office later on, phone out, make sure everything's all right, and then just chill out really.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. See you later
And,
then.
yeah, I hope you're all enjoying the video. Thank you very much.
I've heard it happen, never had it happen myself.
Yeah.
Bloody, I don't know. I had 3 spare spools. I was packing, I couldn't find them, so I shoved in 2 spare reels, but I didn't really want to use those reels. Can't do mine.
Good business, isn't it?
Mm.
Peter just had a rip intake, dragged him into the boat literally.
That was brilliant.
Looks like he might be snagged though.
It's going up enough, strips and enough, didn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, it's Thursday afternoon and things have gone very, very pear-shaped. On account of the fact that I was on fish, a lot of fish last night, didn't catch. And there was slightly fewer fish to the left, which is where Peter was, he didn't catch. There was a couple of fish in front of...
None at all, actually.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 in front of them. But Luke, fishing down to our right, who takes his baits out by walking on water, he caught 5 or 6, wasn't it?
5.
5 fish.
Mm.
So that's all the more frustrating, really, because we should have caught. I don't know what we're doing wrong. I don't know, what do you reckon? Nigel, would you like to join me here?
No.
Oh, right, I'm running out of things to say now. All I know is... Have you stopped it?
No, go on.
All I know is I better bleeding catch tonight, because I'm on fish. Started off the holiday really well, getting a few tags, nice 39.5 pounder, but for the last 2 nights I ain't had one, and the fish have been out there. Conditions ain't been ideal, but the fish have been having it.
You didn't fish the night before though, Kev?
Oh no, I didn't fish the night before because we thought the police might come down. But last night we thought we should have had fish. And especially
set a trap for the police.
Oh yeah, we set a trap for the police. Nigel, you should tell them about that.
I
come
should
and
do,
come
but
and
I
nice,
won't.
because you're not camera shy, you're nice.
I am camera
Stop the camera then.
We're not sure if Nigel's got a fish on. Or it's them boats.
Yeah. Someone bring the net out?
There.
Yeah, cut off. This is a great system for me, isn't it, Ken?
Someone sort out another rod.
Pete! It's all going, go on Pete. Pete to the rescue.
Where's the net? You got the net?
Look, everything here. It's mud, there's snakes and frogs in here. And then they've got to leave their boat out in just beyond them reeds. They've got to circumnavigate this island, fishing either side, and then get out some 150 yards. Here come our intrepid heroes, with Peter in the foreground, helping them. I haven't helped.
I come in.
Kev, I hope you're videoing because we're just about to present my catch. No, Rob's catch, sorry. It's a rare species.
Here come our intrepid heroes. Yep. I'll tell you, you got to get... Look at that, what is it? Hold on. What is that?
Hold it up like that.
It's a fossil, isn't it?
Hold it up like
You want the other side?
Yeah, go on, let's go both sides.
I'll put it down for that.
There might be some bows.
Get the unhooking mat.
You ready on it?
Yeah. Looks like a swan's neck.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh dear, look, that was it. Good effort. It's nice to see you can still smile. Would you like to say anything for the lads back home when we're watching this in the comfort of your armchair?
I'd like to say to them, they'd be best staying at home.
There he comes, Rob. Look, there it goes. There's a snag for someone in the winter. Yeah. Unlucky, lads. Oh, here we go. Oh. It's now Friday morning, and talk about the day after. Last night, we had the guard Depeche and the police come down, take our numbers, the names and passport details, etc. And to top that, we had an almighty storm with heavy rain. We all got washed out. Nigel retreated to the car. We all got stung by gnats. What do you reckon, Nigel?
Well, apart from that, it's a good night. I enjoyed it, really.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that bad a storm, no. It wasn't as worse as...
No, it wasn't as bad as Sadagoo, but it was bad enough.
Sally Lou.
I'm just a bit concerned today what my mum's going to think of my criminal record, to be honest.
Yeah, we might get a fine. You never know, huh?
No, I don't think so.
You don't reckon?
I don't think so. He kept saying there's a warning, so...
Yeah, should be alright.
Yeah. But it was disappointing because we had to wind in, and Luke fishing up to our right, who wasn't found out,
He's had another 3. And talk about rubbing salt into injury.
Or wounds.
Or wounds. What's your view so far, Pete?
Oh, it's been a good holiday, just that we ain't caught enough fish.
Yeah, we haven't, have we? Particularly when we really feel like we've been doing something wrong. And the worst thing I'd done was let Luke in.
Worst thing you done, not putting markers out.
Yeah. Bad move, wasn't it, Nigel?
That was a bad move, Kev.
Yeah.
Once
He
it's
would
done,
not
it's
be
done though.
He would not be out of fishery where he was.
Yeah, yeah.
Fish has he had?
Sorry, Rob?
How many fish has he had?
10.
Don't know, 10 fish. Some real good ones amongst it and all.
2 or 3 40s,
Yeah,
best 30s.
yeah. Put it down to experience, I'm afraid. Nigel and Rob are staying on for another week. Peter and I are going home in tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. It's now Friday mid-morning. Conditions don't look too bad. I keep saying that now. We had a great start. We were catching some good fish. But
You
haven't.
had one, didn't you, Kev?
Yeah, I had a good one, but having to wind in for a couple of nights. And Luke managing to cut me off. Oh, I tell you, I'm going to make a dolly of him when I get home and keep stabbing it. I tell you, it's winding me up big time now. Just to think, I won't be back here now until Hong Kong hands back to the Chinese. 97. Trip every 4 years.
Pete, there's something on the end, you might as well...
I don't know if it's that weed or not.
Nah.
There's your rod tip knocking.
Now look.
Oh, here we go.
I'll tell you, Pete, that could be a fish.
That could be a fish, Pete. Pete,
Get her the boat then, Kev,
I'll
please.
do the boat if we're right.
go on, get in the boat. I could
Get in
get some camcorder action here.
Isn't that in there?
Yep, we're all set. Go on. Just...
Go on. Nigel's getting his life jacket on.
Gonna do a jump.
Long shit.
This is how we get in. Oh, oh, whoa!
That part's on it, not now.
Oh my God. I'm a bit low.
This is the way we play the fish here. Just get into the boat, and one rows and the other one just pulls towards the fish.
Got wet bottom.
Say it ain't so, Joe. I tell you, they were murder, weren't they, last night?
Oh dear. It's bad here.
Yeah,
Swarms of them.
around the ankles and that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We to the take.
Take it off standby, you got it?
Yeah. To the take on Kev's rod right out of the blue. It's about to video the ritual burning of his boxers.
Quick, Pete, get that. Go on, start one down to it, Kev, for fuck's sake. We'll go the other side of the bush, Pete. Go on.
It's on autofocus, Kev.
You've got to wind down to it, Kev. You've got to stand up and wind down.
Kev, is it on autofocus?
Yeah.
Seems a bit blurry, that's alright.
Go on, you wind down.
Screamer there. Let's hope it's a big one. Isn't there? There's about 50 yards in front of him where he lost it.
Getting a bit near a snag out there, Kev.
Luke, who's just moved out next door. They're quite a way out, probably about, I'm making them for 100 yards or so. Don't think we've seen the fish yet. You seen it yet?
Yeah, deep in the water.
Good fish?
Couldn't really tell. Just saw the sort of flash.
Take totally out of the blue.
Yeah, I can see a good glimpse of it then.
Let's get over it, eh?
Yeah, small bubbler.
You know, he's going around in circles. You ain't got that.
Got it.
Oh, we've missed it all.
Oh, it's a nice one.
Bring it round the side of the boat, Kev.
Go through the bottom of the boat, Kev, over stand up. Twist it.
Twisting round. Oh, it's a good fish. If you can get a bit closer to that. Yeah, we'll get him in now. It's a good fish though. Don't think it's quite as big as my other one. Yeah.
Lift it up, Kev.
Come on.
Kev's struggling with his
Struggling with this bowlock.
bowlock.
Get off my foot! Right. Don't know what we've done here. So, I'll sack him up for 20 minutes.
We've got about 25 in the water. When we got out of the water, it's like about 35. Very broad.
Alright, Kev.
Yeah, give Sandy a nudge.
It's gone 37.
Right, let's wait the sleep. 36 and a half?
36 and a half.
Yeah.
It's over 37, Kev. Call it 36 and a half.
Spread that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Go on.
Move it slightly across there. It's
How's it look?
Bending it,
Yeah.
trying to chronic. Have the bend when it goes back.
And again, Nigel.
you like these ones,
Go on,
do you?
yeah. How's it look?
This is Kevin the
So we
baiting.
get close up, me and the head. Just the two heads.
This is Kevin the baiting pyramid. It finally overcome Luke's baits. The fact that Luke had gone home had nothing to do with it.
That's a good
One more for the scrapbook. Again, these fish are really deceiving. They don't look that big, but they really are heavy. Like this fish, we sort of Kevin's estimated 33, somewhere around that. And it's 36 and a half.
Getting close with it, Rob.
They do get heavy. Look heavy. They look as heavy as they are, do they?
Rob. You get out and photograph it. You can print behind me, Nigel. Come on. Ready? I'll lift him. We're making a burning ritual now of my underpants
Gonna need some petrol on them, Kev.
on the basis that
They're just far too dirty, they won't burn.
they were worn the longest
They're flame proof.
without being cleaned.
Nothing.
So we've decided that they must be burned.
That wing.
Going to be putting some fuel over them and yeah. It's a very sad end. They've seen a lot of
Yeah.
what shall we say? Yeah. They don't want to burn.
Nah.
We're in the bloody wind.
Yeah. A very sad end. We're about to start a forest fire now. Yeah. Yeah. Bye, pants.
Can't see that.
Is it Auntie Lil who bought them for you?
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Mm.
Yeah. Who's had their pants burnt before then?
Do you smell those fumes?
I've had one pair go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You had any? Go, Rob.
I always change mine at least every week,
Oh.
even if they're not dirty.
And can we pan over to Peter now?
feet 7 times.
You never
Yeah. Now this is one bloke who's had it done a few times.
No, I haven't had any done.
No?
No, I don't wear pants on holiday.
Right,
Let's just get close
Get
here.
his old wardrobe done.
Yeah.
Joe's on his way over. Just had a 45-pounder.
What's been going on here?
It's all been happening here, Joe.
It's been burning a few pants.
Oh yeah.
I've had my pants burnt.
Oh.
Hold on a minute. What's that bait there? Nash bait.
He's got them all, hasn't he?
Oh,
It's got every bait company on there.
well, you've got to have a bit of a change around, haven't you? Especially as they help you out a bit, like, you know.
Joe, this is a video for the lads back home.
Yeah.
You're a veteran of fishing in France.
Oh yeah.
Have you got anything to say about the water or the trip so far? Any comments? Just in a few million words, or no, a few.
No,
few.
no, I haven't. No.
You haven't.
I've just said all I had to say to Luke.
Oh, blimey.
You had a set to, did you?
No, we had a bit of a sort out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So is it all done and dusted now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I think he come round to
He did.
sort things out. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Well, we've just had a 36.5 or 36.
Going on.
So,
Out of the blue, that one.
out of the blue.
Well, just after Matt Laddie went, that one just, well, that was there, like, you know, they do when they...
Was that on your rods, Joe? Yeah. Are you on the right hand side of the three, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hope it's 30 days yet, because we've got another night. We're winding in tonight. I don't know about you, Joe. What are you doing?
I'm not fishing now.
No.
I don't need to, do I?
Yeah, yeah, no.
Bob's going to fish my rods tonight.
Yeah. Well, you're for a meal, are you, tonight?
No, we're going to stop here with Bob, like, you know, just to
Yeah.
give him a job.
Well, we invited them for a barbecue or anything?
No.
Not very aggressive.
we got a tin of corned beef to go between three of us, like, you know. We ain't sharing that.
Well, we can mix that with a tin of pears.
Mind you, we have just had the most gorgeous gâteau that you could ever wish to eat.
We'll just have 4 yogurts.
You know, Bertus went up and filled up with diesel and called in the boulangerie and,
Yeah, lovely.
and got a custard pie and a gâteau, and we've eaten a lot.
Yeah, good stuff. It's 7:30 now, Friday evening, and the conditions are looking very good. The wind's picked up quite a lot. I had the 36 a couple of hours ago now, and we'll be winding in about 11 o'clock, save risk night fishing, and then putting them out again about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nigel. What?
Nigel, yeah?
Do us a favour. Stick the kettle on for us. I'll come back and do it. Stick it on for us, can you?
Nigel, moving now?
Moving into the swim. Kev.
Yeah, where Luke left. Yeah, which is down to our right, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at the swim, yeah? We've arrived at the swim now. You can see it's a very narrow swim. This is where Luke was catching them, and it's not straight out, it's just, well, to the left there is where I'm putting my baits. So Luke was definitely in the right spot. So Nigel, what do you reckon he got up to then?
Well, first of all, we thought that there was nowhere else to fish, which is why you let him in there, weren't it?
Yeah.
But we've since discovered that there's a better swim about 30 yards down the bank. So
Yeah, so he probably knew that...
well, he knew there was a swim there.
And do you reckon that they must have made this swim a couple of weeks ago?
The swim's been freshly made, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's certainly done a good job of cutting me off, didn't he? Still, mind you, had I been him, to be honest, if I'd have been him, I think I might have done it. Yeah?
Well.
You know, I don't know. But anyway, it's looking good here, boys.
This is
So
it.
you got plenty of boilies, huh?
We've got a few.
Have you been drying them out in the landing net?
Yes.
Yeah. Slippery here, isn't it?
All slippery.
Yeah, so he's out sort of...
About 200 yards there.
He's out 200 yards to his left, which was that area. And me fishing a couple of 100 yards up, casting to the right. We were in the similar areas, weren't we?
Yeah.
Casting towards the tits, huh? That's been our landmark all holiday. The pair of tits over there. Yeah, it's been a landmark. And I've been fishing left and further down. And you boys, you don't want to go further right than there, do you?
No, but we have done by accident due to my poor navigation.
Yeah. Was it hard getting the baits out this evening?
Yes, very hard.
Yeah. Still, now you're feeling more confident, Rob?
Yeah, tomorrow morning definitely. So he had most of his takes.
Where are you? You hiding? Yeah, he's for. Yeah?
Yeah.
No, having a good move now. You come out of that swim.
Yeah.
You're feeling good, huh?
Glad to be out of the swamp.
Yeah. And what about you, Nige?
England expects, Kev.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Twins. Isn't it? Yeah. They're spitting image.
Cheers, John.
From Saturday morning, 9:15. Peter and I are getting ready to leave. Nigel's round talking to us. And Rob shouted. They got a fish on. Looks like it's on their left hand rod. All we've got to do is keep them off the bottom. Keep them off the bottom, they can't snag it, and there's a lot of snags in certain areas of the swims that Peter and I found earlier on in the holiday. But the main problem is the weed.
Massive in the water.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah, good fish. Yeah. Nice throwing, Rob. Family show.
Some water.
Oh yes. That is 40 plus.
That could be approaching 50.
That is big. It's a big fight, isn't it? That is
I wouldn't want to fight that one.
head to head.
Put your hand underneath.
Watch his belly. Sit underneath.
The other way.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
God,
You can see.
Yeah. Sometimes you can lift it up towards.
That's it. Look at that.
Now tilt it towards us.
Lovely. Try and get lower, Nigel. It's a giant of a fish. Average size of the fish in here is incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely unbelievable. That looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. God, that is a lump. I'll tell you, that is a lump. Go on, lift.
Yeah, lovely. Look at that fish.
Yeah, right. Oh, Nigel. What? I was just about to take you. Walk across me. Yeah, give it head.
Lovely. Look at that. Perfect. Super, Rob. Lovely. You have to take him out a bit further than that, Rob.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Nigel. Sorry, say that again?
£15 a particle with one boilie over it.
Should we tell Luke that?
If we can send a copy of this video to Luke.
What particle? Groats, was it?
It was groats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can we have as you come in, can we have a few words for the camera and the boys back home?
Rob. Brilliant. You'll get out here as quickly as possible. No, I can't get me doing that.
And how are you feeling right now, Rob?
Excellent. After a long wait, isn't it, Kev? We've been here since Monday.
Yeah, you've had the biggest fish of our session so far, with probably more to come, yeah? Or let's hope so, yeah?
Yeah.
And you feel like it's all been worthwhile, yeah?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah? Yeah, you look at that smile on his face, eh? I think you'll be taking your little boy in a few years' time, he can have all this, eh? It's now 11:30 Saturday and Peter and I are on our way home. We've just done this last stop to show you a part of the lake we haven't seen so far, or we haven't shown on video. Over there in the distance to the right, there's the trees that are going into the water, which is about 200 yards to our right hand side. And you can see the expanse of water that's in front of you. It's a really large lake. Not as big as Chantico, I believe, but it's big. I'll pan in. This is the end that's most busiest, and there's one swim up to our left. And there's the large sort of brick spit that goes out. But you can see here, it's and you can't see all of it from here. We're panning over to our left now is the dam, where you can't fish. But I believe, I don't know, I think it's approaching 5,000 acres. It's funny though how small it can get after a couple of days. When you've got your own little area in front of you, it's like having your own lake within a lake. But there, this is our last look at the lake now. That's produced to me a couple of mid to upper 30s and a couple of 20s. To Peter just the 120. To Rob this morning the 44. But during the trip Joe had his 60 and a 45. And Luke, the Belgian, had I think about 12 takes and 9 fish. He done very well, but that's another story. Good luck to him. So we're signing off now, and we hope to be over by tea time. It's been a good trip, no rows, good food, good fun, good company, and above all some really good fish. It's now quarter to 6 local time. We're back home. Left there 11:45, so an hour back. It's 6 hours door to door. Just unloading the car now.
338 miles.
338 miles door to door. And we're off into the little domain where Peter lives and where he's going to hibernate now until the autumn.
Until next week, till I'm back out there.
Or until next week when he's back out there. So, car's looked after us and need new exhaust, suspension's gone. Yeah, what else went wrong?
What else we want?
That was about it. Yeah, still not too bad, was it?
No, should have caught a few more.
Yeah, should have caught a few more, but glad to be home now. Go home, see the wife. Might go partying tonight. Other than that, I might hibernate and all. So we're switching off. Holiday over. Good time had by all. Only one comment. Lack of fish, really, wasn't it?
Lack of fish.
Yeah, not enough fish for us.
And the police catching us.
Yeah, but that's a long story. That's earlier on the video. So here's to Peter's next trip, which will be this year, and here's to my next trip, which might be next year. Who knows?